Welcome to this transformative and motivational message, one that could reshape the way you think, the way you act, and ultimately the direction of your life. What you're about to read isn't just a list of tips or theories, it's a collection of guiding principles that have been learned through experience, failure, persistence, and success. These aren't just words, they're truths that, if truly understood and applied, have the power to change everything for you. Many people go through life feeling lost, unfulfilled, or stuck in patterns that seem unbreakable. They often blame circumstances, society, or even luck for their lack of progress. But in reality, what holds them back is often not what's outside, but what's within. Most people never receive the kind of mindset training that sets successful individuals apart. That ends today. In the pages that follow, you'll learn 10 foundational principles that have turned ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. If you're willing to absorb these ideas deeply and make them part of your everyday thinking, the results could be nothing short of life-changing. This isn't about becoming rich overnight or about motivational cliches that sound good but achieve little. This is about discipline, mental strength, vision, and the courage to become someone who inspires, creates, and leads. Someone who rises above fear, doubt, and negativity. Someone who doesn't just survive life, but shapes it. So stay with me, keep your mind open. By the time you finish this journey, you won't just understand how success works. You'll feel prepared to chase it relentlessly. Because what's coming next may be the most important truth you've ever encountered. Principle 1, stop comparing yourself to others. One of the greatest traps in life is comparison. It's a silent thief of joy, confidence, and potential. Most people unknowingly sabotage their growth by constantly measuring their lives against others. They see someone who seems to be doing better. Someone earning more money, driving a luxury car, getting compliments, or appearing physically flawless, and they immediately feel inadequate. But here's a truth many overlook. Comparison doesn't push you forward, it pulls you down. It clouds your vision, makes you doubt your progress, and often convinces you to quit before you even begin. Why? Because the mind, when focused outward, loses the ability to recognize personal growth inward. If someone is ahead of you in life, it doesn't mean you've failed. Maybe they started earlier, maybe they had an opportunity you didn't. That doesn't mean you stay behind forever. Your journey is your own. Your timeline doesn't need to match anyone else's. Instead of watching others, turn your attention inward. Ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday? That's the only comparison that truly matters. Are you gaining new knowledge? Are you putting in more effort? Are you growing, even in small ways? And what about those who try to belittle you? Maybe they boast about their wealth or flaunt their success in front of you. Don't respond with anger or jealousy. Smile, stay calm, let their noise become fuel for your discipline. Because if you stay focused, one day you'll have your moment and it will be undeniable. While they're busy talking, you'll be quietly building. In the long run, those who win aren't the ones who shout the loudest. They're the ones who stay consistent when no one is watching. The best revenge? Success. And success comes to those who spend more time improving themselves than watching others. So today, make a promise. I will no longer compare myself to others. I will only compare myself to who I was yesterday and aim to be better each day. Principle 2, nothing is impossible. Most people quit before they even try, not because they lack skill or resources, but because they've already convinced themselves that something can't be done. They surrender to the biggest lie of all. This is impossible. But what if I told you that impossibility is nothing more than a story your mind tells you to keep you comfortable? Throughout history, there are countless examples of things that were once labeled as impossible, until someone came along and proved otherwise. For centuries, it was universally accepted that no human could run a mile in under 4 minutes. Doctors, scientists, and even athletes believed it was physically unachievable. Then in 1954, Roger Bannister broke that mental barrier. He didn't just break a record, he shattered a collective illusion. And within months, others began to do the same. Why? Because now they believed it was possible. The world changes the moment one person decides not to listen to its limits. When someone tells you you can't do this, you face a choice. You can believe them and stay small, or you can believe in yourself and make history. Every major breakthrough in human history was once considered absurd. Flying, communicating across oceans, exploring space, all were deemed impossible until someone refused to accept that answer. So what about you? Are you going to let the boundaries of others define your reality? Or are you going to become the proof that something can be done? The truth is, the only real limits that exist are the ones inside your mind. When you shift your thinking, you shift your world. Instead of saying, I can't, ask, how can I? Instead of believing it's never been done, say, then I'll be the first. Impossible is not a fact, it's a belief, and beliefs can be changed. So from this moment on, erase the word impossible from your vocabulary. Replace it with this: nothing is impossible. If it hasn't been done yet, that just means I have the opportunity to be the first. Principle 3, the right time is now. One of the most dangerous lies we tell ourselves is this: I'll start tomorrow. It sounds harmless, logical even, but tomorrow quickly becomes next week, next month, next year, and before you know it, you're looking back on a life full of missed chances and what-ifs. Here's the truth: there is no perfect moment. No magical time will arrive when everything feels aligned. Waiting for the stars to line up is a guaranteed way to waste your potential. Life will always be messy. You'll always have doubts, fears, and distractions. But if you keep waiting for the right time, you'll end up watching your dreams disappear in the rearview mirror. Every day you delay is a day you lose forever. You'll never get that time back. Think of the urgency with which we react to emergencies, illness, danger, crisis. When something serious happens, we move immediately. No hesitation, no excuses. That's how you should treat your dreams, as if your future depends on, because it does. How many elderly people say with pain in their eyes, I wish I had taken the chance, or I wish I hadn't listened to others? Regret is a silent punishment for hesitation. Not pursuing your passion doesn't just cost you happiness. It affects everyone around you, your parents, your children, your community. You can't give the best of yourself to the world if you never act on your purpose. The most successful people in life didn't wait for the right moment. They acted, stumbled, learned, and adapted, all while moving forward. That's how progress happens. You don't need certainty, you need courage. So make the decision now. Stop postponing your greatness. Don't allow the comfort of waiting to destroy the possibilities of your future. If you know what you want, start today. If you don't know yet, search today. But don't stay still. This moment, right now, is your opportunity. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Principle 4, don't stop. If there's one secret to success that cuts through all others, it's this: don't stop. No matter how hard the road gets, no matter how many obstacles appear, no matter how tired, discouraged, or confused you feel, keep moving. Because the only guaranteed way to fail is to quit. Life will test you. There will be moments when you feel like giving up is easier than continuing. You'll face delays, disappointments, and people who doubt you. But those who win are not necessarily the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most fortunate. They are the ones who simply refuse to stop walking. It's okay to rest. Take a break when you're exhausted. Sleep when your body demands it. Eat when you're hungry. But once you've caught your breath, keep going, because the difference between those who achieve and those who don't often comes down to one more step, one more day, one more try. Think of the miner who gives up just before striking gold. He dug for weeks, maybe months, his hands bloody, his spirit broken, and he walks away, unaware that just 1 meter more would have brought him unimaginable reward. That's how close many people are when they quit. Success doesn't always come with fireworks. Often it arrives quietly, after years of silent effort. You might be one step away from the breakthrough you've been chasing, but if you stop now, you'll never know. Time is passing anyway. Whether you keep going or stop, the days will roll by. So ask yourself, 5 years from now, where do you want to be? Regretting that you gave up, or living proof that persistence pays off? The people who laughed at you, ignored you, and underestimated you, let them talk. Let their voices fuel you, not stop you. Because someday, those same voices will say, I always knew they could do it. So never stop. Don't let the pain make you pause forever. Don't let discouragement steal your future. Don't think small, dream big. Take every step as a vote for your future self. If you want to reach something extraordinary, you have to walk a road most moan. You must promise yourself, no matter what happens, you will not stop. Principle 5, take the risk. Life itself is a risk. Every day, without realizing it, you're already taking chances. When you cross the street, trust someone, eat food, or simply walk out the door, you're stepping into the unknown. So if risk is unavoidable, why not take risks that actually move you toward your dreams? The greatest danger in life isn't failure, it's standing still. It's choosing comfort over courage. Many people go through their entire lives avoiding anything uncertain. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and routines that numb them. Why? Because stepping outside of the familiar feels scary. But here's the brutal truth. Nothing changes if you don't take a chance. Growth lives on the other side of risk. Every meaningful breakthrough in business, in art, in personal achievement required someone to step into uncertainty. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. Steve Jobs started Apple in a garage, risking everything for an idea. Elon Musk invested nearly all his money into Tesla when it was on the verge of collapse. J.K. Rowling kept writing Harry Potter even after being rejected a dozen times. They didn't know they would succeed. They simply believed it was worth trying. Taking a risk doesn't mean acting recklessly. It means betting on yourself when others won't. It means saying, I believe in this path, even when it's not guaranteed. To ask yourself, what's really stopping you from pursuing your dream? Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear that you're not good enough. Here's the irony. The people you're afraid will judge you are often doing nothing with their own lives. And even if you fail, you'll learn, you'll grow, you'll be better prepared the next time. But if you never try, the only thing you'll gain is regret, the heaviest burden of all. The comfort zone might feel safe, but it's a trap. It slowly kills your ambition. If you want something remarkable, you have to risk something ordinary. So be bold, take the step, trust your vision. You might fall, but you might also fly. And even if you fall, you'll rise again, stronger than before. Your future is out there, but to reach it, you have to risk the present. Principle 6, master your mind, master your life. Your mind is either your greatest ally or your most dangerous enemy. Every achievement, every failure, every step forward or backward, all begin in your thoughts. If you don't learn how to control your mind, it will control you. Most people live as prisoners of their own thoughts. They hear their inner voice whisper, you're not strong enough, and they believe it. You'll fail, it says, and they give up before even trying. This mental sabotage keeps people stuck, not because they aren't capable, but because their own thoughts convince them. But here's the truth. You are not weak. You think you are because you've let a weak mind dominate a strong body. Imagine a wild horse. It's powerful, fast, and full of potential, but without a rider, it runs aimlessly, crashes into trees, wastes energy, and gets lost. But with the right rider, one who can steer, calm, and guide, that same horse can become a champion. Your mind is that wild horse. If you don't take control, it will drag you toward failure, procrastination, and despair. But if you train it, discipline it, and lead it with purpose, it will take you to levels you never imagined possible. Every time your mind tells you, I'm tired, tell it, too bad, we keep going. When it says, I don't feel like doing this, respond, do it anyway. When it whispers, I can't, shout back, watch me. Success is not about doing what feels good. It's about doing what needs to be done regardless of mood or motivation. Champions show up even when they don't feel like it. Winners push forward even when their minds scream to quit. You must stop being a slave to temporary feelings. You are not your thoughts. You are the one observing them. Choose which ones to listen to. So from today, make a vow to yourself. I will no longer be controlled by fear, laziness, or doubt. I will train my mind like an athlete trains their body. I will choose focus over distraction, discipline over comfort, and growth over excuses. Because once you master your mind, there is no limit to what you can do. Principle 7, expect nothing from others. One of the greatest sources of pain, disappointment, and frustration in life is unmet expectations, especially when those expectations are placed on others. We often assume that people will understand us, support us, encourage us, or help us when we need them. But the harsh reality is this: most won't. And the sooner you accept that, the freer and stronger you become. You may expect your friends to cheer you on, but they may remain silent. You may hope your family understands your dreams, but they might doubt or dismiss them. You may think the world will recognize your efforts, but instead it may ignore them completely. If your progress depends on others noticing or approving, you're building your life on sand. Stop waiting to be saved. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you, open a door for you, or hand you the key to your future. No one is coming. That might sound harsh, but it's actually empowering. Because once you understand that your success is 100% your responsibility, you stop wasting energy on blame and start using it for building. The most powerful people in the world are not those who had the most help. They are the ones who kept going when help never arrived. They motivated themselves. They figured things out alone. They worked in silence while others doubted and let their results speak louder than any words. This doesn't mean you have to walk alone forever. Sometimes you will find support. Sometimes people will show up. And when they do, be grateful, but never rely on it. Consider outside help a bonus, not the foundation. If someone helps you, great. If not, even better. Now you get to prove what you're made of. So from today, release the weight of expectations. Don't expect praise, applause, or validation. Focus on your actions, your growth, and your mission. Because the truth is, the same people who ignore you now may one day say, I always believed in you. But by then, you won't need their approval. Your results will already speak for themselves. The less you expect from others, the more power you reclaim for yourself. Principle A, become dangerous. Not dangerous in a violent or harmful way, but dangerous in the sense that you are so focused, so confident, and so unshakable that people think twice before underestimating you. The world doesn't respect weakness. It doesn't pause for your tears. It moves forward with or without you. If you want to make an impact, you need to develop a presence that commands attention, not through noise, but through strength. Weak people are often overlooked. They get ignored, dismissed, pushed aside. When they speak, no one listens. When they try, no one cares. Why? Because the world tunes out those who appear fragile and uncertain. But strong people, those who carry themselves with clarity and courage, change the room the moment they walk in. You don't have to shout to be powerful. You don't have to prove yourself to everyone. Real strength is quiet, composed, and undeniable. It's seen in your discipline, your consistency, and your refusal to break under pressure. But to reach that level, you must stop being soft. That doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop folding every time things get uncomfortable. Some of you let one insult destroy your momentum. One rejection makes you quit. One lack of support makes you question everything. That's not power. That's fragility. And you're better than that. The truth is, life isn't fair. People will say hurtful things. They will judge you, laugh at your dreams, and expect you to fail. Let them. Let their words sharpen your focus. Let their doubt become the reason you stay up late, get up early, and keep pushing when no one's watching. When you become dangerous, meaning unshakable, clear, and bold, people stop playing with your time. They stop taking you lightly. They start wondering how you became so resilient. So, from this day forward, stop being soft. Stop explaining yourself. Stop apologizing for your ambition. Become so focused that distractions fall away. Become so grounded that insults slide off you. Become so relentless that nothing and no one can stop your rise. Because the world belongs to the powerful, and you were never meant to stay invisible. You were meant to lead. Principle 9. Be strong, be unstoppable. Strength is admirable. It's what allows you to endure pain, face adversity, and push through resistance. But strength alone has its limits. Even the strongest people get tired. Even the toughest break down. That's why strength isn't enough. What you truly need, what separates the few who rise from the many who fall, is the mindset of being unstoppable. Being unstoppable means you don't quit when you're tired. You rest and then you keep going. It means when you fall, you don't stay down. You get up again and again and again. It's a relentless attitude. It's the refusal to surrender, no matter how many times the world tries to knock you down. Yeah, think about Thomas Edison. He failed over 10,000 times while trying to invent the light bulb. Most people give up after one failure. Some try 2 or 3 times before throwing in the towel. But Edison, he kept experimenting, learning, adjusting. When asked how he dealt with failing 10-0 times, he didn't say, I failed. He said, I found 10-0 ways that didn't work. That's the mindset of someone who cannot be stopped. What about you? Maybe you've failed before. Maybe people laughed at your dreams. Maybe you've started and quit too many times to count. But here's the truth. None of that matters unless you decide to stay down. If you stand back up, if you keep moving, if you continue to grow, you're not defeated, you're evolving. If your dream is big, your resilience must be bigger. Obstacles will come, setbacks will hurt, but pain is temporary and purpose is forever. Being unstoppable doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means fear doesn't control your steps. It doesn't mean you never doubt. It means doubt never wins. It means showing up even on your worst days. It means making progress even when motivation's gone. It's about turning persistence into a lifestyle. So from now on, don't just aim to be strong, aim to be unstoppable. Because strong people endure, but unstoppable people conquer. Principle 10, the world respects results, not effort. It may seem unfair, but it's the truth. The world doesn't reward effort. It rewards outcomes. You could work harder than anyone around you, pour in sleepless nights and endless energy and still be ignored if there's no visible result to show for it. Effort is invisible. People don't see your struggle, your stress, or the silent battles you fight every day. What they do see is what you produce, the impact, the wins, the breakthroughs, and that's what they respect. Take a student who studies 12 hours a day but still fails the exam. Do they get a certificate for trying? No. Only the one who passes gets rewarded. Or think of a boxer who trains harder than his opponent but still loses in the ring. No one remembers how hard he prepared. They remember who won. Now, this doesn't mean effort is useless. It's essential. Without it, there can be no success. But effort without strategy, without direction, without results, that's wasted motion. So what should you do? Well, work hard, yes, but also work smart. If something isn't working, don't just try harder. Step back, evaluate, learn a new skill, change your approach, adjust your plan. Winners aren't just the ones who grind the longest. They're the ones who adapt until they find what works. Don't hide behind how hard you're trying. Ask yourself honestly, is this getting me closer to my goal? If not, shift. When the results come, everything changes. The people who once ignored you start asking how you did it. The same ones who doubted you begin to admire you. But none of that happens if you stay stuck in effort with no outcome. So from this point forward, set your sights on results. Don't just chase effort, chase impact. Let your actions produce something real, something undeniable. Let your wins speak louder than your explanations. Because in the end, the world won't remember how hard you tried, only what you achieved. Conclusion, take action and become the person you were meant to be. Now that you've read these 10 powerful principles, the question is no longer what to do, it's whether you'll actually do it. Motivation without action is a momentary high. Knowledge without execution is just untapped potential. Dreams without movement remain fantasies. You've been given the mindset tools, now it's time to build the life they were meant to unlock. Think back to when you were a child. There was someone you looked up to, a hero, a parent, a mentor, a figure who inspired you. Maybe you said to yourself, one day, I want to be like them. But then life got loud. Doubt crept in, responsibilities stacked up, and that child's voice became quiet. But it's still there. That child still believes in you, still hopes you'll rise, still imagines a version of you that's strong, bold, and capable of amazing things. Will you let that version of you die in silence? Or will you fight, not for perfection, but for progress? The truth is, greatness isn't reserved for the chosen few. It's available to anyone willing to step into discomfort, face failure, and keep growing. The people you admire, they weren't born different. They just decided they weren't going to settle. See, who will you become? Will you keep repeating the same patterns? Will you keep blaming circumstances, waiting for permission, hoping someone else shows you the way? Or will you take full ownership of your growth, your goals, and your greatness? You've come this far, don't stop here. Use what you've learned, review it, live it, build habits around it. Make it your philosophy, not just inspiration. Wake up tomorrow, not just with good intentions, but with an unshakable decision to act. This is your life. This is your moment. Stop waiting. Start becoming.